Patterson Thompson will come into the attack for the West Indies now. The first time he's been sighted so far in this innings. He's had a pretty lean tour as far as matches played. Played in the Prime Minister's game in Canberra and broke down with hamstring problems. And played in the Hobart game and one other of the one-dayer. So it's been pretty much a bit of a tourist jaunt for him so far. Say, just the way he was looking at in Canberra, that he may have lost a little bit of weight in the last few weeks after Christmas, and he probably looked like he needed to. He looked to me, bowling in Canberra, as though he was struggling a bit to get his rhythm, and could well have been the fact that he was a few pounds over his optimum weight, but looks like he shed some of that.
Yes, he's chunky in build. All that tall. First time I saw him was on television watching B Sky B in Europe, and it was West Indies against New Zealand, and he was quick. Old 8 overs for something like 58, but he picked up a couple of wickets, and he looked as though he had some potential. If they could keep him bowling fast and just get him a bit more accurate, could be anything.
Rather quick single. Patterson Thompson was fairly quick off the mark as well, but Matthew Hayden responded very quickly to the call from Langer.
Max Kruger's just passed me the scorecard of that match I was talking about, West Indies, New Zealand, Barbados. And Curtly Ambrose played, Courtney Walsh, Ian Bishop and Patterson Thompson was the fourth fast bowler. And he did take something of a hammering. 8 overs, no maiden, 2 for 58 in the first innings, and 14 overs, 2 for 77 in the second. But be in no doubt that there's plenty of pace there, and if they could get him under control, then could be anything at all.
Well, his nickname's Iron Mike, so there's a bit of power there. He's a strong fellow. It looks to me as though he's changed his run-up slightly since I saw him in Canberra as well. He appears to have lengthened it. He's got a little bit more rhythm in that run to the wicket. He's not rushing up as much as he was on that day, and he's unleashing a lot of power as he whips through that delivery stride. I don't think I'd like to be stuck down the batting end of a net session and have him charging into me and be upset with me.
Particularly not if the selectors had said they were going to have a look at him to see if he was good enough to play in the test, and be a case of how he bowled at you. Now it's just here that he starts to gather himself in, just at this point. They picked up 4 there. Well, this is his problem. Fast he might be, but every so often he gives the batsman a bit of scope. Full toss on leg stump, something short outside off stump.
Just seems to lose a bit of his momentum coming into the delivery stride. I think he's still got some work to do on that run up. There's no doubt there's some power there, and if he could get it sorted out, he could frighten a few people. No! 6 runs coming from that over. Australia 1 for 62.
It was pretty much LBW. It's a very big disappointment, that, for the Australian captain. He's been having a tough time of it, and that has continued in the first innings here. Once again getting into double figures and not being able to kick on. It's been one of his problems, going right back to the first test match when he scored a 40-yard and I think it might have been 20-yard, and on both those occasions too struggled to turn them into anything special. Meanwhile, Hayden on 31 of 63 balls. He's been out there 101 minutes, quietly putting together his innings. That's very well picked up, and he got rid of it quickly. However, it missed the stumps, and it ended up hitting Hayden right on the end of the elbow, and that's not very good.
Well, it certainly wasn't intentional, but that's we used to call it the funny bone, I think, in the old days. Well, the kids still call it that. But it does smart a bit, right on the point of the elbow. It's well and truly home. He's a tough man, Matt Hayden. Yow. And he'd want to be too.
I think that was right on the funny bone. Well, there's a deflection there off the thigh pad, I think. And it's gone all the way down to the fence for 4. Is there any bat there? No, all bat. In fact, up comes the leg. So it's, in fact, a leg pie.
I was going to say, if it was all bat, the wicketkeeper might well have made more of an effort to actually get a glove on that one, because although it was wide, he had plenty of time to move, and perhaps he should have had a dive at it anyway, because whatever the result is, it's 4 runs to Australia.
Patterson Thompson. Well, that is a good delivery. He didn't have any idea where it had gone. However, it went straight to ground. 1 for 71. Yes, so just 23 overs have been bowled in this inning so far. They've taken the score to 71. Patterson Thompson continuing. Very wide on the crease he is. It's going to be a bit pushed to get an LBW from out there. Gets very close to the return crease. He does jump away those last few strides of his. Watch this. He comes in quite close to the umpire and then takes off from here right down the return crease.
It's pure strength, that action. There's not a lot of finesse about it, or even rhythm, really. It's just brute strength. Gets the ball down there that quick.
That's very well fielded. Oh, Chandler Paul does a really good job, doesn't he? He works very hard at his game. He does well in the field, and this is an example.
Wide of the crease again, and Lang has laced that one backward of point, and Chandler Paul's really extended himself there. It's a beautiful piece of fielding. Had a very good tour.
Straight back to him, and he did the fielding himself. Yes, it's interesting, this action. And Rodney Marsh has pointed out that there's not much finesse, and there isn't. Have a look at those legs as he charges in. Huge. The brute force. He gets to this point here and really starts to jump away. You watch this now. He bends across backwards. A strange action, really, but he gives it all he's got. All those muscles of his he used to try and propel it down the other end as fast as he can. Turned away down the fine leg. Patterson, Ian, Chesterfield, Thompson. He's a qualified commercial pilot.
Not sure whether I'd rather fly with him or Colin Croft. I think I'll go with Crofty at the moment. He's older, more experienced.
Picked away down the fine leg. I'll tell you what though, Marshy, if there were a couple of hijackers on board, I'd go with Thompson.
I'd still take Crofty. Now these West Indian guys must get off the left-handers' pads. They've been bowling there far too long. It'd be interesting to see just how many runs Langer and Hayden have scored on the offside. I'd venture to say not too many at all. And well, in Test cricket you just can't afford to bowl on good players' pads.
Well, that's well played. He's played that short shot, that short ball beautifully. Pulled away down towards the fence. Lovely shot once again. 1 for 78. Hayden and Mark Waugh out there at the moment. Stephen Ward due in next. Lots of batting in that lineup. Just having a look at that Australian lineup. Taylor unfortunately out once again for a low score. He made 11. Langer was out caught behind just a little while ago for 19. Steve Ward due in next, then Blewett. He's made a century here. Bevan coming in way down at number 7. Healy at number 8 in this test match. So lots and lots of batting.
Yeah, Shane Warne's been in pretty good nick with the bat as well. And Andy Bickle is no slouch.
And McGrath's improving every day,
according to Glenn. No, he's worked very hard on his batting. And well, what did he get? The Sydney Test, he got over 20, 24. Very happy with himself that day. In fact, he's had a pretty good series. He bowled beautifully this morning. The delivery he got Campbell with was fantastic. He's got more wickets than runs by far.
Yeah, see, I don't think he likes to look at the average. That's a good shot. Down to the square leg fence for 4. 6 boundaries so far.
Once again on the pads. And that's easy pickings. Very, very strong in that area. And that's really not even a shot. That's just a deflection. And any opening batsman worth his salt puts them away. Monotonous regularity. He moves on to 40. He's played very soundly.
He's hit the stumps and well, I think he was comfortably home, but whenever there's one stump to aim at and the ball hits it, it tends to send a flutter through everyone's little heart. Have a look at this. He's a long way out of his ground at this stage and well home.
Good bit of fielding. Campbell hitting from almost side on. And umpire Shepherd, although it was only in by, well, I suppose half a metre, didn't bother about calling for the replay. He's seen too many of them. Matthew Hayden, 41 now. And we were talking about just how many runs he scored on the offside. It looks to me as though there's only 7 runs out of 41. And that's not really smart bowling by the West Indies. They should be bowling at his off stump. and giving him nothing to work away on his pads.
Five runs from that over. Australia now 2 for 83. So Australia 2 for 88. Hayden's got to 42 now. And normally if he gets a start, he gets very determined, capable of making a big score. Mark Waugh on 4. It's going to be Patterson Thompson to continue. And in the commentary box, it's going to be Bill Laurie and Michael Holding.
Thank you, Tony Greig, and Matthew Hayden doing a good job here. He's played very well on the onside. Patterson Thompson really needs to get his line right, just about middle and off stump, angle the ball across the left-hander, but he's struck 6 solid boundaries. Just the 2 slips in, point cover and a mid-off. No. Sharon Campbell's been moved from gully to mid-wicket and does the fielding. West Indies picked up 2 important wickets. They need 1 or 2 more tonight, Michael.
They have a very defensive field though for Patterson Thompson. Only the 2 slips in position. That man there has done a lot of work over the recent times. Courtney Walsh has just Brian Lara and Carl Hooper at the moment in slip position, and that's because Patterson Thompson is drifting too much into the left-hander's legs. He's jumping wide on the return crease, bowling very close to Hayden's legs and being punished on the onside.
Almost a full house for the first day's play of the 4th Test match. It's been a glorious afternoon. 12 wickets have fallen in the first day. That's the Sir Donald Bradman stand, going around to the Sir Edwin Smith stand, George Griffin stand. That's the line to bowl to Matthew Hayden. Always plonks himself onto the front foot when the ball's around about middle and off stump. Does restrict himself a bit. The ball does swing back or hold its line. There's a chance of a LBW appeal. Won't get too many coming back from Patterson Thompson with that angle.
That's why he has been able to leave those deliveries from Patterson Thompson on a regular basis without having any problems at all. When he goes that wide on the return crease, it's almost impossible to release the ball at that angle and then pitch it on the off stump and get it to straighten.
Ian Bishop bowled beautifully this afternoon. He's been the most impressive of the West Indian bowlers. Curtly Ambrose not playing in this match. Cuffey's been quite consistent. Good job. 7 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 16. I think it's time for Walsh, even maybe Bishop, to come back into the attack now and try and get 1 or 2 wickets tonight. 13 overs to be bowled in this final session before the end of first day's play. Real trouble with his run-up. Hasn't been expensive. Actually, it'd be nice and tidy if he hadn't got onto the leg stump of Matthew Hayden. 3 fours of the bat of Hayden through square leg. Goes to the well again and just gets pushed away for 2 runs. 2 off the over. It's 2 for 90.